Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. It's that time for the daily news, and I'm going to take a short little journey side tangent because it's, my video and I can. You guys ever have those days where like you just wake up and you're just not in a good mood and you're just over it? You don't even know what it is, but you're over it. That's kind of me today. So I've been just sitting here kind of hoping that would subside before I record the news because I'm really not good at faking how I feel. I don't really try hard to be fair because I kind of feel like that's dishonest. But when I'm in a bad mood, I tend to dislike everything. And I'm currently in a bad mood for no good reason, which is actually even more annoying, which puts me in more of a bad mood, you know? So anyway, I'm having one of those days. So I'm gonna try really hard to, because there's a lot going on in the game, to not let it affect my thoughts on stuff, right? But take today with a grain of salt if you think I missed the boat on something and I'm overly negative or something like that, or just not overly excited about something. Know that it's, probably not the game, and it probably is me today. Do I want anything from this store today? No, I don't think so. It is Acro Day, so you're using powerhouses today for Titans, so make sure and do that. Of course, there's a ton of new events. 12 Days of Christmas started over the weekend. The Christmas event for Kelly Kelly starts today. Honestly, kind of surprised at the giveaways since it's the free card at 3-star bronze from all year. That feels weird. Maybe it'll improve. I'm holding out I guess judgment on that. I mean, it's free stuff, so you can't ever really be upset. It just seems kind of like a weird freebie so far. So I feel like maybe they're setting us up for something at the end to be like, oh wow, I did not expect that. But there's one day of each month, and there's one new free card every month, so you never know. Yeah, but 3-star bronze is somewhat surprising to me. So I I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna wait to pass judgment on that, and I can't really complain about something free, to be honest, right? Free is free. So yeah, there is a new prize wall for this Kelly Kelly contest. I'll do a breakdown, not today, definitely not today. So it's got her plate on it. I have not tested her plate yet. It definitely is built with her in mind. Whenever you make 10 plus leech gems, increase your red gem damage by 400% for one turn. And then whenever you break 10 leeches, generate 40 red at the end of your turn. Obviously, this will be fantastic for her with her leech build. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that does much meaningful with leeches and red gems specifically, and nothing really comes to mind. Like Jackie's green, Sammy Dudinator's green. I want to say gosh, what Coco I think is green and not red. I'm pretty sure he's green, right? Coco, I need to double check. So I don't know. It seems like a really niche plate, but a good plate. For sure, really good on Bombshell on Kelly Kelly. Um, you also got a full Jacqueline poster, EO Sky. Hall of Fame Bradshaw is actually probably the card I use the most on the Mherex account, to be honest. He's ridiculous. I do have all this stuff for him, but I probably use him more than anyone for everything. Super good. Punk is crazy good in tough requirements. Asuka's very good. DK Cena, best hot tag in the biz. Lots of other stuff he brings to the table. A lot of people have him, but still, pretty good. Don't mind the price there. Michelle McCool is an absolute steal down here. And this is not a prize wall evaluation, but just throwing that out there. She's really good. She's actually the person I used my wild card hype on for a few reasons for Lady Showboats over Mommy or Becky, mainly because she's Ruthless Aggression era and has a hot tag. Those two reasons. Julie, of course, is an incredible powerhouse. And then you got your Royal Rumble skill plate chest, a random Royal Rumble, which are very useful plates in general. You got the Stevie Nicks plate on here, the Ring of Royalty Rainbow plate. This is so good for recycling in Titan. I consider it a Titan plate, to be perfectly honest. Ministry of Business plate. This is 100% any multiply gem. It's useful on just a metric crap ton of people. It's not like a massive damage builder, right? But on people, let's say, that are really good multiply users anyway, hit hard. Take like an indie, for example, who already hits really hard. You add this, it just adds even more, right? Punk Scotland's pretty solid. Visceral Visage, very niche, but Viscera, if you run the heal build, and Special Edition Cena. Deep Plate, a lot of people should have one of these now. I feel like the price is kind of high, considering my free-to-play has two. I feel like that's kind of high. Haku Plate, really nice plate on Haku, and then there Kofi, right? Then you got Kofi Plate, Gruesome Guys is obviously Mark Henry and Kamala. And Rage Plate, actually, I also feel like Steel, this is really great on Showboat Bex, right? In particular, Showboat Bex, Hall of Fame Mankind, Dudinator. Just, you can see the video I did on those guys there, so it's pretty great there. Some decent moments, right? Definitely some decent moments. Then you got some shards, so looks like a pretty solid prize wall, right? The shards of the instead of the posters, so if you're at least close to them, you don't have to buy the full card. You can just get the shards, and then you got some Santa Hogan tokens, which really I feel like are grossly overpriced unless you're trying to get to 17k still. Then there's that, and then just some econ. You guys know how I feel about that. Not a big fan in general. So overall, I think it's a decent prize wall. It's definitely better than the weekend prize wall. Some pretty great plates on here that you can use a lot of places, right? It'd be kind of nice if they would do some Royal Rumbles that were like specific, like, have all of the colors for 24k, but that's a small complaint for me. Because I have onesies of a couple of them, and then I keep getting red, which I don't need more of, for example. But I'd love another black one, another green one, another blue one. Yeah, another yellow one. But RNG seems to just give me reds. So just minor complaint there, but it's a pretty decent wall. And you know what's on it, so there's that. Oh yeah, if you were curious, free to play, finished at 11,340 tokens. Tempting for me on the free to play. The Gunther shards, I wasn't playing when he came out, so I'm nowhere close to him, but it's kind of tempting, right? Just because they're so cheap. And they keep putting him on prize walls. I'm nowhere near him, and I am like halfway to Visionary Seth. I really think I'm just going to grab the 3 affiliation straps and then reevaluate with the little bit I have left on the free-to-play. Because I don't think there is anything up here in the range. Yeah, I don't care about these plates for this price. They're not very impactful. And yeah, I'm not gambling on that kind of strap. I'd much rather just gamble on an affiliation for the free-to-play. So we'll probably do that. All right, now brace yourself. There is, of course, the solo contest still going on. All right, thanks. Cool. All right. You got the faction contest. Where is the faction contest for this? It's not where it nested where it usually is. Oh boy. I claimed all of my stuff today because it was Monday. All of my keys from the weekend and stuff. Really hope I didn't miss those. Yikes. Make sure you're doing your, this is grindable, by the way. The faction event is completely grindable. Win any 12 days of Kelly Christmas Tour hell matches, hard matches, normal matches. So this is maxable by every faction in the game. Gives you some 12-day stuff, some of the chests that have a chance to give you Santa and shards. So no reason any faction should not max that. Your leaders will probably set you a limit that is 1% of whatever the max is, like something like this, and then you can divide that by the points and see how much you need to get. I mean, we could do this actually right now. Oh, no, that was the wrong button. So max milestone, they even use commas. We'll just call it 17 because that works better for dividing. 17, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 17 million. And then you divide it by 100 people. So that's 170,000 from each person. And if you do hell mode, you divide that by 500. 340 matches is your 1% if you want to max. And that's if they don't add points somewhere else. There's probably points in the tours. Obviously there is, since I already have some. Or no, the faction has some. But I'm sure there's points somewhere else too. But, you know, 340 matches, if that's the case. It's a 10 days. That's 34 matches a day. You might just auto that. I don't know. I'm assuming there'll be points somewhere else, but you never know. Maybe not, because it is grindable. This top of the leaderboard contest is strictly from doing polls to get points for this. As you get points, you get more presents. It's just more presents, and at the end is the bombshell plate. This generally ends up being fairly expensive to get here. How you earn them is there's a daily competition going on. You click competition with extra rewards. 5 milestones in there give you extra bags. The 8 million gives you some tokens too. Woo! And you know, each pull is worth 200,000. So if you want to get the max milestone every day, that's a 40 pull. Every day to get the max milestone. And then there's a leaderboard, which gives you the points in Santa Head tokens, if you care about those, but points to advance in the contest, right? You can also pull snow globes in the loot. They're points as well. I believe? No, they're not. Snow globes must be not in that one. Yes, snow globes are in the regular one, not the daily competition. So snow globes you get points for in the non-daily. Here you go. Snow globes add 3 million if you pull a snow globe in the loot, right? So it's whatever. It's extra for spenders, so otherwise you can just disregard it. The actual Kelly event itself, 15,000 points for a loot coin. The talent up is tied into this. So it's to spend 2,500 coin 400,000 times. I think that's what's that end up being, like 400 million or something like that. There's too many zeros, but I think it's like 400 million to get all the points there. And then 50,000 TP to get all the points there. And then it's just doing your Stip tours every day. So pretty good. As far as that, it's 10 days long. The prize wall is 10 days long, so there's no rush to get a prize wall video out. If you pick something from the prize wall before the end of the event, probably not smart. You really want to save your currency so you can see where you're going to be at. You often miss really, really good prizes if you spend early. Because sometimes these milestones are generally very heavily backloaded. If you do well in showdown, I'm sure there's a showdown for it and stuff, you end up getting way more bags than you initially thought. A lot of times, you can see 8 bags here at the end. I've opened a few on Mherex, and they seem to be paying out about an average of 200. As typical with these, you can get lucky and hit the 2,500, but averaging 175 to 200 has always been pretty standard when we've had this style of event. And we've had a few of them now at this point. So it's whatever. I think it's fine. I mean, a lot of times the real good stuff comes from the prize wall in these. And then the faction one is just grinding, so you'll want to do that. And then, the solo contest, there isn't apparently a faction one, but I collected my keys, so if there's one tomorrow, I'm going to be big sad, because I wasn't paying attention. I mean, I always assume there's going to be keys collected on Monday, right? Yeah, so the tours. This is going to look daunting. The only thing that's super important today is your speed tour and the Stip tour. Great news, everyone, about the Stip tour. You get 1 run free, and then you can buy cumulative milestones by spending $10. So on Hell Note, it's the leaderboard is purchasable and will be purchased. Great news there. First place gets the new plate. The next 49 get a random bag of, get a random plate. So I anticipate some people to spend a lot for first. When they do the Stip tour like this, it just kills it. My interest level on Mherex went to about a 0. It's also who hits hardest, Lady Trickster. So anyone that has AJ Lee is going to do significantly better. Secondary option, you'd probably have like maybe EO, maybe Bliss, like that kind of thing. For Lady Trickster damage, maybe Zombie Naomi, right? But AJ is the clear front runner for that. Anyway, so I'll use Bliss on the free to play to do damage. After I do my talent up, which I'll do tonight, and I'll level her up, right? Enforcer is also bliss, which isn't terrible. In normal, you get this guy right here. Hard mode gives you the chest. The bag, I'm sorry, with the presents in it, right, for the prize wall currency. These are rebuyable. Normal's 100 cash. I don't know how many times you can rebuy it, but it does add points to the solo event too, because that's your task for today, is doing the Stip tours, and then there's also tours for it, of course. But that's on 24 hours, so you're going to want to do that. Rebuy if you want some extra points there. Speaking of that, I don't do marquee, but you can check the shop if you do marquee. And then this shop, I don't think I want my props. Yes, thank you. And let's get a non-affiliation strap like every other day. Okay. And we're getting close to having Triple H there, so nothing else I need, I don't think. No. I want a yellow to purple for Penta to put on the multiply build for Titan. So kind of looking for one of those, but it hasn't shown up yet. Or is it yellow to green? No, it's yellow to purple for sure. Yeah, so don't forget your Stip tour. Now there's a ton of other tours. The Bronson Reed weekly tour, if you missed it, move to the Victory Tour section. So Bronson Reed's down here. You got normal, hard, and hell mode. You got all week to do that, so no rush there, but it is there. Good resources and tokens and stuff in these, so definitely worth doing. So that's in the Victory Tour tab now, right? This reminds me a little bit of the Tekken event, guys, where day one there's all of this Kelly stuff. But it's for 10 days, and then we had Stip tours for the whole first week. So kind of getting that vibe from this, and I know how much everybody loved that. Anyway, 10 days on these, so no great rush. If you get Kelly early, you get a tour and you get 15 bags there. That's a lot. On this one, you get 25 bags, so 40 bags. That's about probably 8,000 prize wall currency. And this, you get a big Prezi. You get a big old Prezi exchange for a special reward next week. I don't know. This is not inside info, but if I was a betting man, I would bet the reward next week probably do be this right here. 12 days of Kelly contest, Christmas contest, snowball fight, blah, 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 blah. There's the loot. Okay. There's the shards. This starts 12/19. The naughty or nice feud contest milestones. So there's going to be shards of her in feud. We do know that because it says right there it does. So it's Lady Feud. And shards of her in the feud contest. Well, we don't know it's Lady Feud because they could put those in there and not do Lady Feud, but I'm assuming it's Lady Feud. Bombshell skill plate, we know about that. Stay tuned for the bombshell gear and more contest info. So I kind of think bombshell gear is next week, and that's what the Prezi's for, but that's just a guess. So congrats if you get her early. We don't know what the gear is going to do yet. It doesn't show. Let's just double check and make sure that's still the case. Kelly. Here, and then if we go this way, and then we go back this way, gear will show up, and yeah, we still don't know what the gear is going to do. So, she does have gear coming. I would probably venture to guess. Either MP, because they tend to do MP for these. Or they may even buff the leech gem some more, possibly, right? Give you the red gem damage on the gear. I could see either of those happening, potentially. Yeah. We'll see. And, where were we? I don't know where we were, but we were there. Oh yeah, the tours. No, not the victory tour. This tour. Not that tour. The 12 Days of Christmas tour. All right. So you got Hall of Fame. I didn't do these yet on Mherex, so I'm assuming hopefully these options stay the whole way. Santa Hogan everyone has, and then Molly they gave away too, so everyone has Molly, and then it's JBL and Hall of Fame Ron. 12-day points in here. There's probably some faction ones mixed in here somewhere because I doubt they're going to require everyone to do 340 matches. for a faction to max, but that'll be the tiebreaker, of course, right? So then you got Party Like the 90s. So again, you got Jersey Morgan Live, Santa, Asuka, and Cena. Jersey Morgan Live they gave out yesterday, I believe. And then we got this blank one that says continue. Then, now, forever together. It's the legend stuff with Bull Nakano, Santa, Liv, and CM Punk. Okay. They might add more tours of these the way they're going about it. Hall of Fame month, then it's anniversary, so January, February, and I'm assuming this was March. So we could end up getting 12 sets of tours, and that's why we got 3 today. Actually, just thinking about that, let me look at the info. I forgot they put out info on all of this stuff because there's so much stuff. And there was, as I said in the video, Library of Alexandria worth of tour CSS. So I'm going to bet we're going to get 1 tour each day after the 3 today, because the first 3 days of Christmas, we're on day 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 for each month. So yeah, I would assume that's what's going to happen here. So there'll be 12 tours by the end, which will add to your points and give you something to do. But no need to panic. 9 days on those, right? 10 days on those 10-day events. So don't feel overwhelmed today is what I'm getting at. Then you go into the ring tour, and yeah, you got all this stuff again this week. Modern Era with Razar being the CSS. He's in the Backstage Pass. Then you got the Trickster tour with Kofi being the CSS. And then I'm assuming, what else we got? Legend tour. Who's the CSS there? Axe, of course. You all have him, right? Powerhouse tour. Smash. That's not bad. Did they double down on this too? 2 weeks worth? Or what? And then Woods on the Acro tour. I just got him recently on the free to play. Then there's just randomly over the weekend they dropped Mexico tour. Not sure why. But it's here. Ray Phoenix is the CSS for that. Some resources. More resources if you have Ray Phoenix, right? So that's kind of interesting. I may have missed why. If someone knows why, you can let me know in the comments. But this just seemed like a really weird time to drop a tour over the weekend. And it's got a different timer than everything else. These are short timer, so keep that in mind. And then, of course, the Refresh Champ tour. So there's a metric crap ton to do, but again, don't freak out. Because only thing due today are these 2. And then your Titan, right? So, yeah. I guess that brings us to offer review. I mean, 7 pulls for $7. They're selling this is actually really good. It's $1 a pull, which is cheap. A 40 pull would be $40. And then you get Bull Nakano and a Santa sack. That's a really good deal, unless they're selling all of them at $1 a piece. This one is also a great deal. Molly Holly, 6-star silver, 7 pull, and Jersey Cat Live. Are they just selling the regular loot at that, or are they all? No, they're not. Those are 20. Yeah, so these are awesome deals. You get the full poster and 7 pulls. So if you're into doing pulls, this right here is $21 for 21 pulls. That's half of a mega at a very reasonable for Scopely price at $1 per pull. You don't see that super often. Starter one, yeah, these are $2 a pull, right? 2.5. And these are 2 and like 33 cents a pull, $2.33. So yeah, these are outstanding deals. These are on cooldown. Looks like, and these were the freebies for the tours. I would assume we're going to get one of these every day as well for the tours, I guess, in which case the 3-star makes more sense if they're selling you a 6-star. But really, it's about the value on the pulls. So I'm actually good with all those offers. I would recommend, if you're the kind of person that saves for a mega, if you get, because these are 21-hour cooldowns, I kind of expect we'll see one of these each day. I might snag some of these on Mherex and see if I make myself a cheapish mega. If I do that, I will do a pull video for you guys. That I'm tempted by, actually. So yeah, I do like those ones quite a lot. You don't hear me say that too often, that I'm tempted by buying something. All right, starter packs. You got 3 days, 21 hours to figure out. No rush there. Again, there some presents and some solo points. But a pull is what, 25,000, I think. So for points, I guess it's not bad. I do not like this one, 600,000 for $10 in points. I don't think I like it. Let's see. Actually, maybe I'll reconsider. But it's just the points, which is always weird to me. And you don't know where you're going to end up. But the max milestone is 7.2 million. That's actually six. Is that 600? If that's 600,000, that's not as bad as I thought. Actually, let me. I don't know where we're gonna end up point wise though, right? So I don't know if you're gonna need this. Um. Hmm. So just out of curiosity, I feel like stuff is more maxable now. You know what I mean, guys? Lately, max milestone was what, 7.2 million? Is that what we said? Wrong event. I feel like this looks way better than it is. Yeah, 7.2 million. That is 600. I need commas. If is that really 600,000? It is 600,000. So if you divide 7.2 million by 600,000, 12. You buy this each day, you max the event. Yeah. Okay. I would assume you won't need very many of these to max if you do the other stuff. Don't know if that's for sure. You definitely probably won't need it if you're buying the pulls. I think. I shouldn't say definitely because I don't know. A pull is worth 15,000 points. Huh. Oh. The starter packs have a lot of points in them too. I feel weird about this because they've shifted, and when you see the loot milestones, you'll know why. Here's the Stip ticket, so you can buy the Stip tour. I do not see a limit on this, so yeah, lame. I don't like the token packs. These are 7 pulls, $20. So as you can see, those $7 deals are really good. If you're going to spend $100, there's a deal on the portal that gives you 100 of her shards and some extra stuff. That's the one you want. Yeah, I don't like any of those, and definitely don't like the base prices. Also, I would imagine we'll see a twofer on Elite Loot Day, potentially, right? A 2-for-1 as the week goes on. But these ones I think you're fine to buy, and they're on a short cooldown, 24-hour cooldown. So I do like those. You want to do some pulls. I think that's pretty good with the extras. I don't like any of that, any of that, any of that. Nope, nope, we don't like that. All right, so now I'll show you what I mean about the loot. So you look why I think it's going to be pretty maxable, because you got Santa tokens in here, 300,000 points for pulls, a lot of armory stuff, bombshell, and they're all seemingly tied to pulls. Like a 7 pull, look at all this armory for 7 pulls. 16,000, 21, 24,000, 25,000 armory. Some Santa tokens on a 7 pull, some Mark Henry shards, and that's $7, right? So that feels pretty okay, right? Your next 7 pulls gets you to 14, another 15,000 armory, more bombs. Like that's incentive, pretty good incentive there to go to 14 pulls. And there's a decent amount of solo points, 1.2 million in there, which is sorry, 900,000 in there, um, which is better than that pack anyway. And then it slows down quite a lot to needing a 40 pull, but then there's more right behind it at 7, and then 14 after a 40 pull. A lot of her shards in here. So I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be fairly not as hard to max as you would think. So yeah, I would buy that 600,000 points with caution. Personally, I would rather buy the pull deals and get points that way. If I was gonna do something, those $7 pulls for 7 pulls for $7, I would rather do those for sure, for sure. And then as far as the loot, featured is actually a whopping 10%. So if you do a mega pull, you're likely to hit 4. And then there's 2 guaranteed featured. And then so there's this like featured, uncommon, and common. Is that it? Yeah, the 3 tiers. So for the featured being 10%, you're probably not getting posters a lot. Those are some pretty dang good posters so far. You're probably mostly going to get the shard tier. Yeah, these are all quite strong so far. Not as much here. But still, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't call that necessarily diluted at a 10% rip. So you're probably mostly going to get 40 shards of bombshell is what I would say the featured mostly are based on that kind of thing. You know? Yeah. What's in uncommons? I didn't even look there. Oh, there's also the possibility of snow globe there. Uncommon, bombshell again, blah, blah, blah. A lot of really good stuff. So this is going to be diluted to Kingdom Come somewhere here. Yeah, Barrett. Here it comes. Yeah, this has got to heavily be weighted to these less rare ones. But again, it could be a lot worse. But we can't see the weights. Some prezzies in there. Again, no shards. It's all full cards. It's not, honestly, it doesn't look horrible. And then Blackman's in there too, potentially. So yeah, hopefully I feel like I'll definitely buy the $7 offers on Mherex just for those 21 and then see what happens tomorrow about making a cheap mega. Because I feel like it's decent enough and it'll get me some milestones and some presents and stuff for that prize wall. So, but I'm a spender, so keep that in mind. Free to play is obviously not doing it. And then the week 2 loot. This is pretty standard. You guys should be used to this by now. 3 featured, 1 super rare, on a 7 pull, 3 on a featured. It's actually looks different than normal. It is different than normal. Normally this would have like this month's cards in there. Sako's in there. Haven't we been having Axe and Kofi? Weren't they in there last week too? Is this the same one that? No, it's different, and it's Smash, Woods, Kofi, Axe shards in there. It is different, but this one's weird. It's definitely not. Doesn't seem normal. Maybe I'm wrong, but wasn't there usually the last month? So I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Woods and man, they've been running these a lot. Why not why are they not changing those? I don't. I mean, if they do a twofer with the loot, sure. Otherwise, this isn't really feeding anything this week, you know? And the guaranteed stuff isn't that great. I mean, if you're chasing the last few of your axe shards, then maybe it's something you'd consider, but you don't get a meaningful amount, even on a 40 pull, guys, so careful there. You're not really... Yeah, it's not... Yeah, this one isn't it to me. So if they throw them away for like free or put them in a double or something with elite and you want to do elite loot or the Kelly loot, sure. But otherwise I'd stay away from Deck the Ring loot week 2, to be honest. Don't think it's feeding anything at all. So yeah, that's it for the loot. Again, going back to the contest, it does seem like it's probably gonna be somewhat easier than past ones with all of the extra rewards moving into the loot milestones. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you have a good day. Ton going on, long day, long video, so we'll call it good. And let me know what you think in the comments, and remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Yeah, that's a lot going on. Those $1 loot coin deals are not bad. 7 for 7. That's not bad. Other than that, and not super exciting.